Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to this video about CSS media queries. Today we will learn how to make responsive web pages using media queries and Flexbox. Now, in the introduction video, I showed you this page which is unresponsive. So if I have a large screen, it looks good, but as soon as I go to smaller screens, it becomes very hard to read. So if I would be watching this on a mobile phone, it's almost impossible to see the content. Now in this video, we're going to take a mobile design and try to make it in a desktop design. So we're gonna do it the other way around. And before we do that, I would like to tell you a little bit more about this desktop versus mobile first design. So what happened back in the days, there were a lot of websites made for desktops, and then mobile phones came on the market, and the developers then try to, well, fit the content in that mobile screen, but it's pretty hard because it's a relatively small screen compared to a desktop. And since as of today, a lot of websites are visited much more on mobile devices, there was a sort of mind shift in the community where a lot of designers said, why not make a design for a mobile phone and then try to gradually expand that content so it also fits on desktop screens and devices, so, or tablets. So that's I think a good practice to always go from a mobile to desktop design, and also first make your HTML and CSS for mobile devices and then for desktop. However, this is not always the case because some websites are, for example, made as an internal business tool, and they will be mostly used by people browsing on the desktop. So I had clients that only asked me to build a desktop site. So always keep in mind who is using my site, but if the users both are going to be on mobile and desktop or tablets whatsoever, start with the mobile design. So we're going to use a design made by Joe Thomas. So I'd like to give him a shout out for this awesome design. And it's this one. It's relatively simple, but it's very good for this video, for the demonstration purposes. So I actually built this page with HTML, CSS, as you can see, and we are going to try to make it also suitable for desktop devices, because if we go to like a desktop size, let's say 1440, you see it's definitely not this design. So we are going to use the media queries and Flexbox to make it look like this. So to get started, I recommend you to make 3 files in your in a folder that you create yourself, and then you can visit this link, and I will put it down in the description. And it's essentially the code I currently have in front of me. And this is GitHub, and because there is an upcoming video where we learn how to use GitHub. But for now, I think the easiest thing will be to just click on a file and copy the contents and just paste it in your empty files. And then you can just start you open the HTML file with Live Server, and that should give you, well, exactly this. So let's just start from the very top. Okay, so what I see is right here in the mobile design we have a hamburger menu, and on the desktop design we have this these links, this navigation section. So what I will be doing, I will check out the HTML, and I see right here we have the header, we have a button and an image, and we can also see that right here. So you can see we have the header, then we have the button, and in that button we have an image. That's the hamburger icon right there. So I do not want to display this on let's say larger devices. And if I move the screen right now, you'll see this number is changing. This is the screen width in pixels. And what we're going to do with media queries, we will say, for example, if the screen is larger than this amount of pixels, then show the desktop view. And if it's smaller than that, show the mobile view. So we are going to use breakpoints for that. And this is just a, you know, most of the time it's up to the designers to decide what the breakpoints will be for your site or app. But a very, well, what I see commonly being used is that for 768 pixels and up, it will be it will show a desktop design, and if it's, well, equal to this or below it, it will show a mobile design. So first of all, I want to make sure that when we go to beyond the 768 pixels, we remove that button from here. So what I can do, I can go to my style.css, and I will add a media query right here. We'll just open up another screen. There we go. So I will say media, and I can say minimal width 769 pixels. Now we'll show you why I will do 769 and not 768. Curly brackets, and then I can target the burger menu, and I can set it to display none. And now see what happens. Currently it's still visible, but as soon as I increase the screen width, it disappears. And that's exactly the media query kicking in. So this is actually a media query. Now now we can make, for example, the nav links we see right here. So I will say it's a navigation section with an unordered list of list items, and each list item is an anchor tag, and this one will, for example, redirect us to works. Doesn't make a lot of sense right now because we didn't work, of course, but we would just do it like so. Block, contact, and we'll change this as well. Contact, there we go. Now if I save it and go back to the design, you see it's showing up right here. The problem is it's also showing when we're on a mobile, in a mobile view. So to get rid of that, we can again make another media query, and here we will say media, and we can say max width is 768 pixels. And here we could say we should add a class to that navigation section right here. So I say navigation. And now I can add the navigation class right here. And I could say display none. So now you'll see it's not appearing on mobile views, but it is appearing when we're on larger screens. Now, the reason I have 768 and 769 is that if I would set this to 768, it would actually have a device that's 768 pixels wide. We would not see anything. So that's why I put it like this. Oh, wait a second. So now we can see it. All right, so let's go to our desktop view like this. And now I want to make sure we style these links. So first of all, I will take the unordered list. I'll set a class. I'll say, for example, nav links, and I will put it right here because this is the media query for the desktop view, you could say. And we say display flags. Boom. and now it has positioned them in a row. So the next thing I would like to do is I would like to style that link because it's looking completely different in the design. So I will give it a class of nav link. Go right here. And now, if you have never used Figma before, and I will also, by the way, put this design in the description, like always. And if I click right here, you can see right here, if I go to the inspect part, we can see actually the CSS properties. So we don't need all of this because some of them are already set by default in the reset.css file. And we talk about this later in the course when we are into the styling section of the React, React part, you could say. So I will copy this. I can remove these ones. And now if we go back, it of course will only apply to here. So I have to copy this here as well. And now you see we got this underline. Again, this is a default browser thing, and we can override that or remove it by setting the let's see, decoration. No, it's not the decoration. Wait a second. Yeah, it's the, no, it is text decoration. There we go. Set it to none, and now we removed it. You can also see there are some spacing between them. So I could, for example, say margin, add 0 on the top and bottom, but add, for example, 0.5 rem at the sides. Maybe make it even a little bit bigger, like that. Yes. And also here we have some margin on top and on the right. So I could take the nav links right here. I'll just switch right here. I was a margin. On top we have 1 rem, and then on the right we will have 1 rem, and then on the bottom we have 0, and on the left we have 0. I save it. That looks good. I think it's could maybe make it even 2 rem. There we go. Awesome. So the header section, as you can see, as we move the screen now, we got a hamburger menu, and now we got the nav links, just like we wanted to have it. So this is the this is just the header, but we also have to make this. So this is in a more like a column layout, and this is in a row direction. So what I would do, I would make 2 divs, a left div and one on the right, which is just the image itself. And if I give that parent, for example, wrap both of these in one div, I could say that it should have a display flex, and that will automatically put it in a row position. So put this section to the left and that to the right. So let's do that right now. We can see right here, let's inspect it. I think that might be a little easier to get an understanding of how this is laid out. So we got the hero section, which is this complete section. Then we got the image, and then we got 2 p tags, the title and the info, and we got a button. So I want to wrap this p tag, and this button in one div. So that's what I'm going to do right here. So I will say div, and I put it right here, and I can give it a class, and I will call it hero details. Now it shouldn't do anything, but now I can go and style those hero details. So I go here, I say hero details, and now I could say flex direction, and I could set it, sorry, I have to do display flex first, and that will put it now in a row. However, it seems that I made a small mistake right here. Yes. So I repped this div and I said it was hero details, which is fine, but that can just stay as it is for now. What I have to do, I have to target this section. So we have the image and the div, the hero section. So I can go right here, make this hero section, which already exists, by the way. So if you scroll up, you can see hero section, and has a display of flex and a flex direction of column. So now I could say, let's give it a flex direction of row. Save it. And now we see we put it to left and right, but we should have it the other way around. So we can say row reverse, boom. And that's so great about Flexbox. It's really flexible in terms of how you want to lay out and display things. So that's starting to look a lot more like how we want to have it. Now, when I look at its title, it seems that the title is a little bit bigger on desktop, because if I switch to 1440, see, this seems to be a little bit larger. So I will click on it and I will see that it has a font size and a line height of this. So I will copy it and I will go a couple lines below and I will say hero title. And again, this is for desktop only. I save it and now you will see it's a little bigger. I can undo this so you can see the difference. There we go. Save it. Yes. So now we have our mobile view, desktop view. Seems pretty good already, but we're not there yet, because what I see is that this text seems to be aligned to the left, whereas the text right here is centered. So what I can do, I can take the hero section and I can say text align, and I could say left. And now this brought it to the left. Something else which is different, like it starts to look pretty good already. Just remove this for a second. But there is some distance between the image and this section. So what I will do, I will add some margin left to this image, so we increase the margin between these two items. So I take the hero image and I'll give it some margin left of, let's try 5 rem. Boom, there we go. And of course there's there are some differences right here, right? This is not like a pixel perfect design, is how some people would call it. But I think you get the idea right now of what we can do with media queries and how we can make things look responsive. And so in this video, we went from mobile to desktop, but in the next video, we are going to build a design completely from scratch. So I see you in the next one.